What we got here today?
All right, we're recovering another build from a client that started with another reputable Airstream restoration company. So had some problems. We'll kind of show you what we've discovered. This has only just been in here for a day, so we're starting to uncover all the fun things that they did. As you can see, starting on the exterior with the patches. I'm not really sure what they put underneath these. It almost feels like roofing tar. But they stand way out from the skin. You can see how flush from the factory it is. You don't want these patches to be standing away, because all that does is allow for moisture to get behind it during the winter, expand and contract through ice. You see they're all standing off like this. Some of the other things that we're noticing on the patches, if you'll look up here, pretty inconsistent as far as their pressure. Some of these heads are super dimpled in and crushed. Same thing if you notice from the factory. None of it's dimpled. The problem that happens once you dimple this is you get the area in between raises up once you put too much pressure on the head of it. So having nice consistent pressure allows the skin to have a really smooth area to lay against the corresponding skin. And then if you notice the patch down below, there is no consistency as far as the distance. Yeah, so you can see like this one's 3 inches almost. You've got one here that's 1.5 inches, and then the next one's at 2 3/4. So same thing. This is just not a quality product. That
looks like a hand cut edge too. It's not a straight cut. You see scissor marks on it.
Yeah.
This rivet looks like it was hit with a flat head.
Yeah, not really sure about those rivets.
Right into this.
And then you can see as you follow the rivet line down, some of them are, you know, within 1 millimeter of the edge, and then some of them sit further off. They're kind of wavy gravy train. So our next issue that we're trying to figure out here has to do with our axles and wheel wells. So if we get underneath where the axles mount to the frame, you can see that they put a axle mounting block attached to the framing member here and drop the axle down below the frame. Originally, these the cross members for the axle sat up inside of the frame. Allowed the frame to cradle the axle cross members. So at this point, our ride height on this trailer sits at 34 inches off the ground.
It's kind
most
of nice
of our
to jack this up to get underneath it. Just crawl underneath here, no problem.
Most of the Airstreams, when we add a 30% down angle to the axles that we replaced from Dexter, they will sit at, the floor ride height will sit at 22 inches, 23 inches. So one of the issues with this, even though it's nice to have the ride height, is your center of gravity is another 10 inches higher, causing towing issues. You can get some death wobbles a lot easier as you move your center of gravity higher and higher off the ground. So we're actually going to need to drop these and then remove the mounting
And those wire nuts.
Yeah.
Those look like crimped connections to me.
Yeah, it looks like they wire nutted.
Yeah. We've got
the
a
brakes.
super tight lead onto the drum there. That's less than ideal. We'll have to fix that too. Wow. I can almost stand up underneath this thing.
Yeah. So now you'll notice the wheel wells. I'm not really sure if these were something they built or they kind of Frankenstein some old ones. But you see, like, if we tried to put these back into their original position, your wheel well's gonna rub around the side of the tire. So we're gonna need to pull these guys off and actually produce some new ones so that when we put it back to a regular ride height.
Real ride height, yeah. Oh, what else we got?
So you can actually check out the height difference back here. If you look down the trailer, you'll see how high this one sits up next to the other Vintage Airstream we have sitting there.
The tongue is...
Yeah, their tongue's dropped a little bit, but
that's a solid foot difference.
I don't know if you can see it, but this is my most favorite patch ever, right here.
Yeah, I might have to get a ladder up there, but that's a cute little patch.
So we're just starting to get to the inside, so we don't know the full extent of what we're getting into. You can definitely see the wheel wells. They were angled in. I think maybe took some original ones they found and added a spacer to them.
They spaced them out.
Yeah.
Maybe they had some magical reason for it.
And right now we're just trying to test all the electrical. Not really sure why they ran 12 gauge wires to every single thing, even their LED lighting. But we'll probably be doing, like, this is some 12 gauge that they just wire nutted instead of doing proper connections. Some of the other things like this, oh, well, as I pull that down, you can see they ran some wires in between the screws. But on all of our roofing, on all of our vents and everything, we usually put wood around here just because the sheet metal screws that are going through is just going through such a thin sheet of aluminum. They can back out. So having something for the screws to grab into is always a bonus. But yeah, as we kind of peel this away and discover some more, we'll maybe have to make a whole nother video.
Yeah, well, this is going to be actually a pretty cool build. I think we'll be doing a few highlights on it. I know Chance is excited about the electrical system.
Yeah, massive amounts of solar. Here. This whole thing should be a boondocker's wet dream.
So we'll be doing some projects.
We have
on this, is it?
in-heat floor from RV Step, I believe the name of the company.
Is that installed yet? That's not yet.
No.
Is that electric?
Yep, that'll be electric. But yeah, this is what we're starting with. So.
What about the switch panel here?
Man, I just don't know. It's how it came, so.
Oh, I don't know. It looks.
Yeah.
Looks neat. Let's see if we can integrate it into the build or replace it.
Yeah. But yeah, we're getting started on this one hot and heavy soon.
Yeah, we'll be updating it as we build it.